Alone Together, and I am joined by Amanda Uhler and Cassie Elle.
Hello.
Howdy.
I'm Amanda.
Doing very well. And as you all know, I don't normally do this. Sorry, kids.
We'll have fun.
Yes.
Yes, it'll be just fine.
We're going to go with that. It'll be just fine. Okay. Amanda, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
No, but I will. My name's Amanda Uhler. I'm not on the screen though. Do I show up to everybody else?
I see you.
Okay. I'm Amanda Uhler. I'm co-host of Heavy Cardboard and friends with Kimberly and Cassie. And I suffer from borderline personality disorder and anxiety and other mental healthy things like that. And so we are going to talk about those things today.
Thank you. And Cassie, I'm going to mute myself for just 1 second, ladies. Is that okay?
Yes. I'm Cassie, Elle, from the Indie Game Report. I do reviews, like video reviews of mostly indie games. And I have anxiety, and I talk about it all the time. So I was looking forward to talking about, especially with conventions and stuff like that. Those ones are pretty hard for me. So I'm looking forward to just talking about it and figuring out how we all manage it, because it's not always easy. And conventions are all different sizes. There's like different experiences. And so like, there's a lot of stuff that goes with conventions and anxiety, at least with me. So
yeah, definitely. Cause it can be a tiny little convention where you know everybody, or it can be thousands of people and you know, like 4 people, and it makes a difference. It can, at least for me.
When like, if I have a convention that's really close by, if I have just like being able to have a vehicle and drive can make like a huge difference with my anxiety, as opposed to going to a convention where I have to take a lot of public transit. I don't know why, but it's just so different being able to, and even just like my car versus a rental. It's just like you feel home. I don't know.
For me, it's being able to be at the same hotel as the event, to be able to go up to a room. That makes a big difference for me. Even though sometimes my anxiety will toy with me the entire way to the room and tell me I'm going to the wrong place, or I'm going to the wrong, I'm on the wrong floor. And it will literally tell me I'm in the wrong room until I see my stuff. Like, it's really bizarre sometimes that my brain plays that kind of tricks on me.
It's hard too, because like with bigger conventions, most of the time those hotels are booked like right away. And so the chance that you get of getting a room, first of all, of getting a room that's going to be just your space that you don't have to share with either strangers or like 5 other bodies to make make it financially worth it.
Right.
But then like they're all booked up. So you have to be willing to do either some Ubering or rent a vehicle, or if you're in a good town and they have good public transit, that helps. But sometimes like when you're already like, I need to get away from the people, it's not very helpful.
Right. And the Uber driver that you get doesn't shut up the whole time. And
that's not particularly relaxing, no?
No, not even a little bit.
No, not even slightly. All right, we should probably do our regular Cubist intro bit where we each discuss a game.
Okay.
Cassie, would you like to start?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Okay. I didn't bring it with me. I don't know if I was supposed to. Okay.
I don't even remember a game.
Okay. So what I wanted to talk about was the game I played most recently is called Cubist is in the Corner. It's on the Game Crafter website right now. I think it's going to Kickstarter also, though. I'm not sure about like the timeline for that or like what's going on with that, but it's just a card game, and you play different trains down in descending numerical order. And when you get trains to a certain point, you can send them off from the tracks, and what you're trying to do is empty your hand. And so you have to play them on certain tracks, and I like it. And the art is it's like minimalist art, and I like it when they can stack shapes and make, I don't know, the art is really attractive to me. So that was the game I played most recently, and I enjoyed it.
The game I played most recently was Concordia. We played just the base map last night on stream, and I hadn't played it in a while. And the way that final scoring works, you forget until you actually do it, and then you're like, oh, right. I needed more cards than that. Yeah. Because there's like 5 or 6 different gods that are on the cards, and you have to make sure that what you're doing jives with those cards and that you have the right you just yeah, I didn't do well. I was about 40 points behind everybody else.
Ooh. Did you have fun though?
I had fun, and that's literally all that matters. So
that is all that matters.
Yes.
I did that last time with Terra Mystica. I forgot about I think they're the god tracks.
Yeah, the cult track thing.
Yeah, the cult track. There we go. I forgot entirely. I thought it was just one, not individual tracks. Like there was one winner of. I'm like, oh no.
Oops. I know.
Not how that works, friends. Cassie, on the Cubist scale of buy it, play it, forget it, and burn it, where would you put Cabooses in the corner?
If I didn't already own it, I probably would buy it on my own.
It sounds cute.
It is. And then like, I just like, games that it's like a 15, 20-minute game and it doesn't take a lot of space on the table. And I like those games because you can just throw it in your pocket and bring it, because it's very few cards. I can just bring it with me to dinner or something. So I would say buy it.
Nice. And Amanda, where would you put Concordia?
I would also say buy it for Concordia if I didn't have it already.
It's one of my favorite games too. So
it's a really good game.
I highly agree with that. I will try Cabooses in a corner. Maybe one of these days I'll get to a convention with Cassie.
Yeah, Cassie, you should bring it to Dice
She can teach me. I will not be there, but she can play it with you. And I will talk about, because Bill's going to be sad if I don't talk about a game. Heckmech, I believe that is what it's called. Picomino or Heckmech, depending on where it was published. It is a little Reiner Knizia press your luck game with you're trying to get worms, your birds. It's pretty clever overall. You're rolling dice and you have to have a total. And you have to make sure you have a worm. I can't remember how many dice you have. 8, maybe. And you have to have at least one die with a worm on it, or you get nothing. And you can steal your opponent's worms if you land on that exact number of the last domino tile thing that they got. It's clever. It was fun. It's easy. I don't know how easy it is to get anymore. Picomino. I had never heard of it before. I played it with friends the other day. I said play it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We have done our QSD rights, so Bill should be pleased. We discussed games, we rated them, and now we can get to the actual topic at hand. And tonight's episode was named by the lovely co-host Eric Buscemi after chatting with me for a bit and going over all of the different things that I'm really terrible at naming anything.
And this was perfect.
And this was really good. Yeah, we chatted. I was chatting with Amanda and Cassie at the same time and then chatting with Eric. And this was the first thing he came up with, and it was perfect.
Yep.
I floated it to you guys. Everybody loved it. I think Alone Together really hits for me because that's kind of my main thing when I definitely feel like alone in a crowd. Conventions are terrible for me in that aspect. I don't need people to talk to me or fix anything for me. They just need to if somebody could occasionally sit near me or just let me be in peace and read in proximity to them, check in on me if I go to the room and hide for 4 hours if somebody could care, right? Those little things like that. How about with you guys?
Yeah. The same for me. What about you, Cassie?
Yeah, it's hard, to explain it to someone who, when you have anxiety, it's hard to explain to someone that this is all in my head and there's nothing you can say to make me feel better right now. I just need you to be near me so I feel safe. Because it's scary, you feel like you're going down this tunnel in your mind and you just you need somebody that's familiar and safe but won't bother you so you can get yourself back out.
Right.
Kind of. And that's how it feels. And it's hard to explain that to somebody when they just want you to feel better and they want to say whatever they can to make you feel better. And it's hard.
And they think that dancing like a monkey will make it better. Or they, and it doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, I wish it did. That would make my life a lot easier. But there are times that I just literally need to sit in a corner on the floor and play on my phone for an hour.
Yep.
And I really need for you to be okay with that. And, let me. And that I have quite a few core people that I know that I can tell and that they'll be okay and let me go do that. And if I, they'll text me, hey, do you need anything? Do you need me to bring you water? Whatever. So luckily I have a good core solid group of people that I know will allow me to do that. And I say allow in quotes, but it truly can be feeling like that, that
definitely.
It feels like, okay, you're going to let me do what I need,
Well, and I mean, I think that's a lot of why people hide it when they're anxious in general, right? Because I don't want extra attention. I don't want people continually talking to me even.
Right. Yeah.
I generally want to be able to be at my level of peace. So, it's a thing. And I'm very bad about taking that for myself or asking for it.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing I'm learning.
Get to a point to where you're okay.
Right.
I just had to get to the point to where it was harder for me to not ask instead of just asking and saying, hey, I need 20 minutes alone or whatever.
Sometimes
I'm getting there.
I would have to I just need, a convention could be a 24-hour convention for some events. And I'm like, I'm going to last maybe 6 hours of this day at this convention. And, you travel and you want to spend as much time as possible at these events because you want to make it worth your while. But then you're like, you just can't. And it's hard to give yourself that freedom and allowance to say, it's okay that you spent this money on this flight. You can use it to go to the hotel and take a nap. That's okay. You do what you got to do to enjoy it.
You are paying for that hotel too.
Exactly. Yeah. My first BGG con, I think I might have played one game and I slept the rest of the time. I was never downstairs.
Amanda, which BGG was your first? Is it when you and I roomed?
No, it was the second one.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it was my second one then. Because with you, I was okay the first one. It was the second one that I slept the entire time.
Oh yeah, it's a thing. I mean, that's actually how Amanda and I met. I didn't know anybody.
Aww.
I had met Nicole Hoya once, and I'm so sorry if I say your last name wrong, Nicole.
She's in the chat.
I love you. Yeah, I had met her one time in Toronto, and I had never met anybody else before. All of BGG. I decided 3 weeks beforehand, I think, that I was interested in going, and just tweeted, anybody have a badge? Anybody looking for me to, anybody need any more booth help? Hotel sharing situations. I realized this is very last minute and everything is very much booked.
Yeah.
And I got a couple offers from publishers right away to work the booth. And Amanda and Edward were like, our roommate dropped. We have a bed. And I was like, might not get murdered.
And you didn't.
Maybe, probably. So I decided to try it. And it was both great and awful. All of that. Not the roommate thing, just the overall experience for me. Yeah. It was my very first convention of any kind, really, of any size.
Oh, wow.
And I am very much an introvert when I am stressed out and very shy. I hid in my room a lot. Pretty much anytime Edward or Amanda were not in the room, I was.
Yes. Eating peanut butter sandwiches.
And pieces of a banana. Yeah, yes. It was. I hid a whole hell of a lot, and it was okay. Yep. But it also allowed me to break out of a comfort zone that I didn't really know I could, which for myself mattered quite a bit. And
yeah, it really does.
And I got an Amanda.
Yeah. And people just don't realize it, so.
Yeah.
Working a booth is hard.
Oh, I can't imagine. Oh my goodness.
I worked a booth at Gen Con. First Gen Con I went to, I worked a booth, and it was every day. I didn't want to enjoy the convention at that point. I didn't want to be around it at all. Even if I had extra off time, I was just get me out of this area. I need to be as far away as possible in a park around a bunch of ducks. I just want to be away from humans right now. Because it's hard. Working a booth, that takes so much energy out of you, more than just being around all these people. You have to entertain them now. And it's hard.
Yeah,
it is.
when we went to Origins the last year that I was able to go, we were at the Capstone booth, and I literally hid in a corner, and like people would come up and ask me about games, and I was like, ask him, just pointing at somebody else. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. So Clay was like, okay, I'll hide you. Just sit over there in the corner. It's okay. Yeah. Ugh. I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
Yeah, I've had to cancel on publishers before because I was like, I can't handle this kind of anxiety. Like even just thinking about it going up to the event, I'm like, I thought I could do it, but I really can't, and I'm really sorry. And they're all, what's nice though about the community is they're always understanding because almost everybody's got some form of something going on, and they just understand. So at least it worked out in that way.
That helps. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing. It was incredibly draining. I worked for Stronghold, which I have no regrets in the working booth thing. That's how I met the lovely Paul as well. And everyone, because the Stronghold booth is popular.
Yes, that's where everybody goes.
I demoed 504. No, I don't recommend. It was not my choice. Henning basically chose me to demo 504. And
that's the thing too.
I survived it. It was a big thing to do, but it helped me meet people. But if I hadn't worked a booth that first time, I think I would have gone home. If I hadn't felt obligated to do a thing, I totally would have left. Like being behind the booth also gave me a little bit of a safety net where I felt like, okay, I have to do the thing. Which for me, I can make myself do almost anything. If I feel like I really need to, if I need to do it for another person, I can do it. If it is just for me, not necessarily. And I would have regretted it if I had just gotten on an airplane and gotten home.
Yeah.
So, balance.
Yeah.
So what do you guys do in order to survive a convention? Like, what are some coping mechanisms you have? Any tricks?
Well, I don't plan anything. Even like events that I want to go to is if I let myself be flexible and I don't have to be anywhere specifically, I don't have anything to get anxious about. Oh, lunch took a while. This meeting took too long. I'm going to be late to that. And that's like part of my anxiety is being late to things. I feel like it's such a poor reflection on myself, even if it's like, reasonable. And so I don't plan anything.
Yeah,
so I don't stress about anything.
Yeah, that's a big, the very, very, very first convention I went to, I booked myself full the whole time, and it was awful. And I swore I would never do that again, and I haven't. And
good for you.
I never book anything if I can absolutely help it at all, for the reasons that you said. Because okay, if I'm not hungry when the game starts, but I'm hungry now, and I can't leave because lunch was already done.
Yeah.
And like everybody, a lot of people are saying in the chat, water.
Oh my gosh. Water is the most. So I actually use water as a pretty big coping mechanism, which a friend just recently told me he caught on to last year at BGG. So I will get up and I always bring a water bottle, but I would fill my water bottle.
So you would have to get up and get more?
So I could walk away from the table.
That's
every
smart.
That's a great
15-ish minutes.
That's really smart.
And go get more water.
Right,
it's an
Cassie,
excuse.
so if I disappear, it does. I don't know where I went.
It's a thing. People are very frequently like, wow, you drink a lot of water. And I'm like, I do, but also I was never filling it.
That's a great idea, though.
That is a really good idea. I'm totally stealing that.
It's just this little thing that I can do that allows me to stand up when I need to, because sometimes I don't generally sit a lot at home. So sometimes I just need to actually get up. Literally moving my body can help me when I'm feeling anxious. Yeah. Walking helps. Peace helps, except for at conventions, I'm often kind of accosted between the table and the water station, which can be a little bit problematic for me sometimes, but it helps.
Yeah.
I also will offer to get everybody else water.
Takes longer.
I'm like, can I refill your water bottle while I'm up?
Yeah.
Please hand me that.
To not be accosted whenever you have 4 big old water bottles.
Also weapons.
Yes, you can throw them. Yeah. And they're really heavy.
I used to carry a glass water bottle, that thing full.
Oh my God.
Something out easily. It's a thing. What I'm trying to think of other small coping mechanisms that I do. Oh, I will intentionally leave something in my room.
I will intentionally say I have to go to the bathroom.
I do that too. I will go to the bathroom and not actually even go to the bathroom.
And I will just hide.
I will just stand up and go to like a corner or whatever. But I will do things like, oh, I forgot in the room. I'll be back in 15 minutes.
Do you ever like say you're going to the bathroom and then you go to the bathroom, but you just go to the stall and you just cry it all out. And then you go out and you're like, I'm fine now. I can go, I'm good.
But my problem is I'm so pale that I turn pink. And so everybody knows that I've been crying.
Oh,
yeah. And that's no fun
sneeze,
at all.
I look like I've been bawling my eyes out. It's not.
So
I'm always like, I'm not actually crying, guys. That's allergy and Irish. Yeah.
Pollen and Irish.
Pollen and Irish, my friends. Yeah. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I do.
I will Instagram. Oh, I need Instagram.
Oh, that's a good one. I haven't done that one. To say, let me record this. Oh, Ben has a question for me in the chat. Okay. What about a Granite Game Summit? How do I unstress? I don't. I mean, I'm getting better about it, but I can do, like I said, with the booth thing, for me, if I feel like I am working, it's a completely different mindset. So post Granite Game Summit, I don't do anything or talk to anybody at all for like 48 hours. Really, once I leave, I completely isolate myself. I'm getting better at Granite Game Summit about taking time to not be at the desk, not help everybody, and actually like play a game. We now have like this significant breakdown between the three of us. There's three of us who own it about who is supposed to do what and when. So I do the bulk of the stuff before the show so that I don't have to do as much at.
Nice.
That's smart.
Which allows me some peace, which is necessary. And I did things this year at G2S that I've never done, like left more than once to get food. Just, little things. I went for a walk.
That sounds nice.
That's the good thing about HeavyCon is that I can go walk Asher.
Yeah, that's nice.
Disappear for a while. And I like to just, people just don't understand, but I just like to sit at the desk and kind of, as weird as it sounds, watch what I've made. I mean,
I totally get that.
There's so many people that have come to my convention, and it's just, I just like to just watch, or, like if I do play a game, it's either at the main table, like the front table where people come ask for help, or right nearby, because I'm not comfortable if I'm not able to be in quick grabbable vicinity.
Yeah, I have that problem where I still sit where I can see the registration desk pretty much always.
Yeah,
that's why I have to force myself to leave.
Yeah.
I will not do it. I will not stop working if somebody doesn't make me usually. So my partner's pretty good now about being like, hey,
you need to go.
Was like, go.
It's hard when it's your baby. You don't want to just like feel like if I leave, something terrible could happen. I need to be here.
Yes.
It's like, no, it's gonna be fine.
And I am by default, because I do most of the like podcasts and stuff I'm the face of Granite Game Summit. So I'm the one that everybody knows. So even when I'm not working, which I don't generally work at G2S anymore, except for at late night, I'm still the one that people come to, which is fine. And usually it's with things like, this is so great. I'm having so much fun. I really like this change or that change. And thank you so much. It's almost always really nice, polite. Even that, though, adds up. It's still demanding of my time when I'm doing anything. I'm getting better about being like, thank you so much. I just need a break. I'm going to go, because before I would engage and just get kind of stuck.
Yeah.
It takes practice. We're getting there.
I'm very much not good at small talk. And so I will literally just stare at somebody until they leave because I don't know what to say. And then they get uncomfortable because it's silent and they expect me to fill it. But I just look at them because I don't know what to say. I'm not I'm an INFJ. We don't really talk, really.
Yeah.
So I just stare.
I smile awkwardly.
A lot of observing.
I have like this, which I use at other conventions too. I have like 5 questions that I try to use in awkward small talk things. And literally only at board gaming events do any of these work for me. But I actually have like a handful of questions that I will try to use to fill that space so I seem more like a normal human.
Nice.
So I will say things like, what have you played and enjoyed so far? That's one of them. Is there anything you're looking forward to playing that you haven't yet? What's generally your favorite game?
Yeah.
What is your favorite mechanism in a game? These are they are things that other people who are more outgoing and talkative like to tell you about.
Yes. Yes.
And answer, right? These are questions that appeal to them. And it's something that genuinely I'm interested in. And it can help me place people, especially at G2S, if somebody's wandering and doesn't seem like they have a group. I'm pretty good at matching people together. But it also just allows me a little bit of time to be like,
yeah, you can breathe while they're talking.
Yeah,
exactly. And like
the nod.
Sometimes you just don't have that much to say. Like what Amanda said. I think I'm pretty sure I'm an INFJ also, and you just want to do a lot of listening and a lot of thinking, but you don't want to do a lot of talking. That's like the most amount of energy is the talking. I can think all day long, but when I have to talk, I'm like, I gotta tell you my thoughts now.
Yeah,
like
they're right here. It's fine. Like they're right here. That's all you need. They're right here, and it's fine.
It's sufficient. It's good. I'm really bad with names, so also conventions are good for me in that aspect.
Because they have name tags.
And when it's my own, I get to go around and say, oh, can you remember to flip your badge? There's a reason we do the double hang so that we can see everybody's badges.
Yep.
But I'm very terrible about
print names on both sides.
We do
that
too.
way, if they do flip, it's fine.
Same. But they'll get like that slightly cocked. And you're like, can you just straighten your badge out? Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you so much. But the excitement that people get because I remembered who they were from the G2S the year before is pretty great.
Yeah, that's cute.
That's for sure. Especially because I think people generally know I'm not great with names. As Matthew can tell you, I called him 43 different names for like 6 months of dating.
Keep a book.
I panic and just like whatever name of the human I saw last is usually what comes out of my mouth. So like if I had just been talking to Amanda, I could very easily call Matt Amanda. And like
I'm sure he's okay with it though.
And then you just kind of cringe. And then my brain is like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. That's not that. And then I'll do it again and again because I get stuck. I need like a hard reset when I get like that.
Like smack yourself in the back of the head to reset.
Pretty much.
Fix the record player.
Yeah. All right. Can we talk about imposter syndrome a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. Either of you have any issues with it?
Do we want to? So like, well, it's hard because it's kind of a newer thing, you know. I don't really know of imposter syndrome really having been talked about except for like the last handful of years, I think, from my experience. And I really only hear about it, honestly, in our industry. But I think it's been pretty prevalent in especially designers, game designers and publishers who are independent and they have like a big hit and it just like, you don't believe it. This was a fluke. This didn't happen because I worked hard. This happened because people aren't paying attention to what I'm putting out there. And, you know, personally with me, because I don't have a product, I just make videos. You know, sometimes it does feel like, do people like what I'm doing? Is there any purpose to this? And I get, you know, you try really hard not to compare yourself to people that are very popular or like even, you know, like people that have been around for so long, like the Dice Tower. You can't compare yourself to this huge network like that. But sometimes you think, how come I'm not getting the same growth that other people are? And it can be hard, and you feel like the only reason I'm getting growth is because people aren't paying attention. And it's kind of scary sometimes. But you have to like come back to why you're doing it, at least for me. Why am I making videos? What was my purpose? If it wasn't to just be popular, there was a reason I started it. So let me go back to that. And it helps with like the imposter part. Go back to the enjoyment of what I'm doing.
Yeah. That's a good reset.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it cycles back, you know, it's like it comes back and reset and then it comes back, but it's hard.
Yeah. Just one big circle.
It's like a continual loop. Yeah. Ben in the chat asked exactly what imposter syndrome is. I mean, I think it's basically feeling like what you are putting out doesn't match the response you're getting, right? Like for me, it is very much people know who I am, but I don't ever feel like they should.
Yes.
Yeah.
I very much feel like, okay, but I'm not actually contributing anything to anything. And pre-Cubist, especially when people knew who I was and would come up to me at conventions, it made me ridiculously uncomfortable. like
the fact that I know Ian O'Toole and he is in the chat
Ian.
because I'm here is weird.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like that's I don't understand. Like I can't wrap my brain around it. You know, like what?
Yes.
How is Vital Lacerda my friend on Facebook? Like what? You know, it doesn't compute. Hi, Ian.
Yes. No, Vital is one for me too. Vital is my Instagram buddy / Twitter friend who will occasionally do the thing. And he wanted me to come introduce myself at Origins last year. All of the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Just I was like, there's no reason you should know who I am. I don't feel like I have anything that you should have any clue who I am at all.
Right.
I don't care that I exist. And instead he messaged me and said, hey, you walked past. I'm pretty sure I just say you walked past. Can you come by and say hello? I'd love to actually meet you. And I was like, I will never walk past the Eagle booth again.
Yeah. Like, are you sure?
That is literally how my brain was like, I'm going to hide. There's
it's just,
and he's lovely and sweet. I could not get myself to do it because it triggered every imposter syndrome, insecurity, everything for me at once. And everybody else was like, you're being ridiculous. And oh my God, I'd be so excited if Vital wanted to meet me. And I was like, nope. For me, it absolutely made me want to leave Origins, which is terrible. I was like,
it's just
never coming back.
I'm leaving. I'm gone forever. Yeah, I'm not. Luckily, I'm not that bad. I suppose. I don't ever want to leave, but it just doesn't. It like the puzzle pieces don't match. Like it just doesn't feel like it should fit together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like I deserve or have earned any of that. Even this is really difficult for me. Cubisting, even when I co-host and I'm not the one running the show, it is incredibly difficult for me every single time. It is never easy. It absolutely triggers all of it. It's a thing.
I can't think about how many listeners we have at Heavy Cardboard. I cannot think about, like, I can't watch how many people are watching us on a live stream. I cannot look at videos that have already been done and see the number of plays or the number of watches or views. I know it freaks me out when I see a comma that over at the, 10, 12, 15,000 people have watched me lose at a game, or what, just what? So I can't. I can't. And if I do, then I try to, in my brain, make it to where that's not really real, or that's not really. Yeah, I have to, like, put it in a box in my head somewhere and just compartmentalize it, not think about it.
Yeah,
let it sit, simmer.
Yes.
Okay. Ben is also asking if it's a self-esteem thing. For me personally, yes, they're definitely tied together. I don't know if it necessarily is for everyone.
It is for me for sure.
Oh, it definitely is for me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, I remember the first time someone approached me, I didn't know who they were. And the first time I was at Gen Con, and I hadn't been doing my review stuff that long. But they saw me. I wasn't wearing anything that had like Indie Game Report on it or anything.
Right.
But they saw my face and they knew who I was. And I was like, I don't deserve this.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand who I am. You guys are absolutely crazy. You should probably hang out with me before you start giving me all this praise. And it's just like, why can't I just let myself enjoy people enjoying what I make? And it's because I don't feel like I deserve it. And it's hard to say, you deserve it as much as anybody else does. But you put yourself on you're on a different scale, you know?
Mm-hmm. On a different level, or on a different, you know, you put other people on a pedestal and you put yourself way down there somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That is absolutely a thing for me. Nicole in the chat said self-worth. Yeah, it is absolutely a self-worth issue for me. And the way that I view the two completely, it very much always feel like a fraud.
Yeah.
That is a thing that I struggle greatly with anything.
Yeah. I never feel like a fraud, but I feel more like, you guys think this is good? No, let me show you something that's actually good so you know what good is, because you don't understand that this is not good. But it's like, just if they enjoy it, just let them enjoy it already.
I know. It's the same thing with like taking just a general compliment, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did that for the first time probably ever as an adult. Like last week, I had a coffee shop. A lady told me she liked my hair. And I started to say like, oh, and I was like, thank you. Because I'm trying so hard not to be like, oh, it's not, because it was wavy because it had been braided. And she said something about, I really like your wavy hair. It looks beautiful with your dress. And I was like, my hair's not actually wavy. Because that is 100% what my brain filled in with that, right? She complimented me and my brain went, nope.
Like, no, let me tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah.
Or like if someone says you're kind and you're like, well, let me tell you about all of the terrible things I've done in my life so you can change your mind about that. It's like,
that's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, brains are so good, guys. They're just so they're the absolute worst.
The human brains.
Yes.
They're stupid. They're stupid.
They are. I mean, mine can be real terrible. That's for sure. It definitely, for me, I think part of my imposter syndrome issue is I have always done all of my other work essentially not under my own name.
Mm-hmm.
And I know where that comes from, like from childhood. I know why I don't claim anything. Artistic-y was very much like the way I was raised, that's a waste of my brain power. So I have always just used a different name. So it makes me uncomfortable when people can actually relate me to a thing I've done. Because I've never really, aside from these are my children I've created, I have always separated myself from my work. And that works for me on a lot of levels, but also I realize it's weird.
But like if it helps you, then it's not weird. It's
I mean, it does, but it also makes me incredibly uncomfortable when somebody will like have a shirt from a logo that I made for a fairly big record label from graphic design wise. I get uncomfortable running into people just wearing the shirt. They don't know that I did it. Like they have no idea. And I get like, oh no.
Yeah. I understand that.
It's just like that little bit of, I mean, I have that problem with the Granite Game Summit shirts. People really, really liked the last one. I drew all the doodly stuff and designed it, and Kevin helped merge it all for me for the t-shirt printing aspect of it. So uncomfortable. I'm trying really hard to see that it's okay for people to then wear these shirts that they bought. Like the people that I love and who support me and wear my t-shirts to things. I try to always be like, thank you, or nice shirt. But also part of my brain is like, oh my God, damn.
Yeah, like I did the heavy cardboard logo, and seeing that everywhere, that's weird.
See?
Like, yeah. Like I just, seeing it on game boxes, that'll freak you out.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Yeah.
You know,
that will freak you out. Yes. Like I just
over here.
Oh my God. Like, okay. You know, you just want to be like, yeah, but I know it's really not that good, but it's the best I could do, you know, and it just, that's how I always feel. Like I need to make excuses for that it's not as good as it should be. Because I feel like I should have been able to do better than that, but that's all the time I had to make it. So sorry, that's what we're stuck with, you know, even though I know it's deep down, I know it's a good logo, but superficially, I will make excuses for it up one side and down the other about how awful it is and how it needs to be a lot better, or I should just have Ian redo it because he would do a much better job than me, you know, which he did right there.
It is lovely.
Yes, lovely. But
the other one is lovely too. Yes. I always feel like loved when my people wear their shirts. Yeah. I do feel that like, that's incredibly sweet of you. But also we have organized our hoodies with our logo on. I will never wear it because it's my design. It will never grace my body unless my partners are like, can you please wear your hoodie for this thing? Also, it's huge because I didn't know what size I took in a men's hoodie. It's ridiculous. And they're men, they don't know. And there was like concern about it zipping over my breasts. So it looks like I stole my father's hoodie and I'm a small child. It's giant.
Now I want to see you in this.
Oh my gosh, I will never wear it.
Sounds comfy at least.
Which it is. It's super comfy. I might wear it like alone in my room because the design is on the back and I can't see it.
You can't see it. There you go.
But if other people are going to say anything to me or ask me about it, like I don't have the G2S stickers on. Like people have them all over stuff. Our rainbow logo stickers came out beautiful. I really do like the way that it looked in rainbow design. I think it was a great subtle nod that we were able to put in for pride and inclusiveness. I still can't do it. Even that little, I love that like my kid has one on her laptop. I like seeing it on people's water bottles and notebooks. It makes me smile. I still don't want anybody to actually directly link me to anything, so it will never be on any of my things. It's just how my brain unfortunately copes.
For me, like I see it, it's almost like for artists, you never see something that you made is great. It could always be better. Like it can never be just good. You know, like you can never just accept because I'm not an artist. I don't, draw or paint or anything with my hands, but when I did my videos. Yeah. Well, even on the computer, I am just like, I can't do any of that stuff. I like, I can fill in the lines, but
me too.
Like when you make video, I'm just like, the lighting could be better. The audio, it could be better. And like, I can constantly upgrade equipment. And I feel like if I'm never going to just be happy with what I have now, then I'm never going to have the equipment to make me happy. And that's just how I feel like it's kind of like an artist thing. You're never happy with the product you make. And it's hard to just accept that it's good when you want to just constantly upgrade it, make it better.
So Nicole brought up a very good that she takes notes and who she gamed with, and that can help her post-con, which probably is a thing that ties in pretty well here. How do you guys deal with con crash? Is that a thing that happens for everyone?
Yeah, I think for me though, it's more, it comes in two different ways for me. It's sad that it's over, happy that it's over, sad that I'm alone now, but happy that I'm alone. It's all, it's not all happy and it's not all sad. It's a combination for me of being happy that I don't have to talk to anybody for a while, but also sad that I don't have to talk to anybody for a while.
Yeah.
It's like the high, high, low, low.
Mm-hmm.
Very much for me. Yeah. It's weird. You miss your people.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
like your people. You need your space.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to be home. Little things like sleeping in my own bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like when you go to a convention, it's like you feel totally ramped up, and then the convention ends and you're like crashing right back down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that crash. I mean, it's both ramping up and crashing down. It's like your body uses so much energy to get you there and interact with all these people. And now it's over and your body's like, but this energy, and then you just crash.
Yeah.
You just want to sleep. And like you always, it's like you need a vacation after your vacation.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I need a vacation after my convention time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I literally do not speak to or see anybody. I don't even, my ex-husband takes care of the girls after G2S.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
Done.
Yeah.
I need to be able to hide. It's a lot. It takes a lot out of me. And I need to be able to sleep and rest and not speak, because I speak nonstop, especially at G2S. No matter how much I hydrate, I always lose my voice. I need to like not talk to another human for 48 hours.
Yeah. I think that
and hide.
now that I think about it, I don't think that I have ever actually allowed myself to recover fully from a con, because I immediately go to do the next thing. I don't allow myself to rest and recuperate like I probably should and need to, but I just go on to do whatever, you know, what's next, just go to the next thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know some people that'll just like convention to convention to convention, and they're gone for like a month from home, and I would just be dying. I can't, I would not be able to survive that ever.
No, I couldn't even completely handle BuddyCon, which was 10 of us at a house we rented, just close friends. I had to leave. And I actually decided to carpool going to and from so that I couldn't just leave.
That's smart.
Because I could tell that week with where my head had been and my anxiety levels, I would have just left and I would have regretted it. And it was my birthday and friends flew in from other places and I love these people. But I also knew that I would hit a wall. And if leaving was an option, I would do it.
Yeah.
And not because I don't love these people and I don't want to see these people. Just sometimes I hit a point where I can't really come back. So not having a car definitely limited that for me. But I just walked. I literally left and walked. We were on a road in the middle of nowhere in New York where people were doing like 70. There's 0 sidewalks. There's like no side to the road that you can really walk on. And it was a huge house with plenty of...
didn't die.
I know. And when I got... And I didn't think that anybody noticed. And for the most part, they didn't. I left for like 2 hours. But my friend Ben was like... When I got back, he was outside going like, "Hi, you okay?" If any of us had just left, you would have flipped your shit. You would have been so freaked out.
Yeah.
You just walked off in the middle of nowhere.
It's different though.
He was like, he tried to explain it from the other. I'm very much I worry about everyone all the time. I can't help it. I'm very empathetic. I'm very much the mom, no matter what I do. And he very much turned it around on me and was like, literally, if it had been anybody else who pulled any of that, you would have been freaking out.
Yep.
And also, cars are driving really fast.
Yeah.
This also probably wasn't very smart. And like, I needed space. And I needed to leave and I didn't know what to do. So then he also got the accosted. He was like, I was just going to go to the grocery store. And I was like, I need to leave. Please take me. Like, I don't want to talk. He was very like, do you want to talk? I said, nope. He was like, you want to sit silently in the car? And I'm like, okay. You need a hug? And I was like, nope. I would just like to sit awkwardly in this car. Let's go to the grocery store and look at vegetables and don't talk to me.
Yep.
And it was exactly what I needed. It was also good to know that somebody knew I left.
Yeah.
Because even though my brain did not want at the time, afterward, it's like, okay, it's good to know somebody noticed.
Yeah.
Because if you leave and nobody notices, it's like,
yeah,
well, thanks. I love you too. You know?
Very much so. Yeah. Thank you for not knowing I wasn't here for hours, you terrible humans.
Yes.
And I mean, I guess that most of them did notice. Actually, I really didn't. I was like, it just looks like I'm going outside for a second. Nobody's going to know that I took off for a couple hours. Or they will, because, yeah. So, you know, it's a thing. We each find our own ways to cope when we're good.
Yeah, I like to find like the closest park and just be around some trees and get some sunlight, like you said, where no one is near me, and just like escape for a moment, and you don't hear anybody or hear anything, and it's nice.
I was walking around the hotel at BGG Con last year when a group of friends pulled back in a car, and one of them went, "The hell are you doing?"
I'm walking.
Are you walking outside? Nobody goes outside. I was like, I do this every day. Just nobody noticed. I sneak outside every single day, and there's always at least one person that's like, "Did you go outside?" Where there's nothing near BGG Con. For those who don't know, you're at a hotel convention situation, basically at the airport. There's nothing. No. There's no anything anywhere, no signs of life. It's like parking lots and crazy streets. There is nothing, but I will still go walk around that hotel because I have to go outside.
You can go up, you can go down the stairs and out the back and around, and
I do that too. So I take the stairs. That's one of my convention survival things. I will take the stairs, and people are horrified by that too. There's always somebody that's like, "Do you come in a stairwell?"
Yeah,
it's great because no one's there.
Yes, it's quiet, and it's usually really cool in there too.
It's usually cooler. It's quiet, and there's only the people like Amanda and I who do it. So you're mostly only going to run into the other people who aren't really going to question it when you're in the space.
And they're not going to talk to you because they're there for the same reason.
It's like when you pop out of the stairwell on the 8th floor, somebody's like, "Did you just walk up 8 floors?" Like, yeah. It did, because the alternative was an elevator full of humans.
Yeah, and so I took the stairs.
I also do this amazing thing where I will get off the elevator on, I don't care what floor it is.
Yep.
And I'll be like, "Oh, sorry, this is my floor."
Yeah.
And then I will frequently be like, "I don't know where the hell I am."
Yeah.
I'll do that, but just like to adventure, when I'm like, all right, I just need to walk around, so I'm just going to see what's on this floor. Oh, look, this vending machine has peanut M&Ms.
Yes,
exactly. Just kill some time.
Oh, wow, there's a random gift shop. What are they having?
So I think that, like, in general, walking is good.
Yeah.
All right, friends. So that is definitely getting added to the con survival suggestion.
Yes.
Sleep. For the love of all that is holy, sleep.
Yes.
It is so hard on your body and your mood when you do not sleep at all. And I understand it is so difficult to walk away from that, like, high summer camp feeling at a convention of the late night gaming and the craziness. You are not even a human anymore.
Right.
Like
I am a giggling idiot who cannot think.
I just get hangry.
Oh, and that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
For different people, it triggers different ways. I'm just like a cry laughing idiot.
I play games with you in that state. Yes.
I mean, this also, if I have like a half a sip of wine or any alcohol, I like to say I can have a 1 alcohol.
A 1?
That's
a 1 alcohol.
A 1 alcohol, but even that is not advisable. I can have like a
sip
1/10 of an alcohol without being a ridiculous human being. And then if you sleep, you can get up early and everything's quiet, which is a thing I learned from the lovely Andrew Smith, who is in the chat. last year Origins, he and Jamie were doing the 8 a.m. gaming. And it was like, oh, there aren't people.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Nobody's drunk because they don't like drunk people.
Mhm.
Nobody is drunk. Nobody's hitting on me. Nobody's harassing me. I feel like I can walk around fine. There's like 15 people. Everything's well lit. Nobody's inebriated. It's amazing.
There's coffee.
There's coffee.
Yep.
Yeah.
And by the time the people show up, you're ready for breakfast and you leave anyway.
And then, yeah.
Mhm.
Once it starts to get busy, you're like, okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Mhm.
That is very sweet of you, Paul. Oh, no, it's Christopher, not Paul. I just saw it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have half screen. Sorry. I'm good company, even if I've had a drink. They got to play. So the Cal brothers played a game with me at Granite Game Summit after my friends insisted on giving me a cider.
Wasn't good.
I mean, it was funny, probably.
I very much imagine it was funny.
It was funny. I didn't do any of the things in the game that you're supposed to be like collecting these goods every time you trigger something. I just didn't ever. So then we're like at the end of the game and they're like, where's all of your stuff? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Oh, no. I bet you had a great time, though.
Yeah. So, and I was so nervous I was going to spill on it. And it was like a super secret game. And I'm like, this is not going well. Whose idea was it to give me a 1 alcohol at my own thing? I cannot have 1 alcohol.
No.
And function. And there are still people up. It was not good.
I've never even like considered drinking at a convention because I am just so anxious. Like thinking about drinking, I'm like, well, what if I get drunk? I don't know where I am. I don't know who these people are. These people don't know who I am. Where am I going if I get, like, if I'm lost, what do I do? It's just too much.
Oh, I got hungover that first BGG. I've never really been hungover before.
Oh, no.
I wanted to die.
Yes.
I felt like death, and I made the mistake of tweeting out that I felt like death. And very sweet, well-intending men.
Oh, no.
I think all men continually brought me coffee.
Aw.
And like things I can't eat because I have celiac.
Yeah. Donuts and such.
Like muffins and donuts and bananas. And Bonacor and Henning from 2F Spiel were like, what the hell is going on?
You just have this pile of.
Henning was like, pick your favorite coffee. The rest are going in the trash. And I was like, I can't drink any of these. I'm going to vomit. Like, I don't drink. And I had had whiskey for dinner the night before, not realizing I hadn't eaten.
Oops.
Oh.
Do not advise. And then I had to work the booth first thing in the morning.
Oh.
Not an advisable situation. And I had to, like, a bunch of men I don't know who follow me on Twitter that were like, oh, I saw you were having a rough morning. I brought you Starbucks. And I was like, this is all incredibly sweet. I can't take any of this.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not taking coffee from strange men. I'm not taking anything from people I don't know. I'm the most paranoid person in the world. I'm going to vomit. I don't feel good. I basically wanted to crawl under a table and die. So now I generally don't ever drink at a convention. I will have maybe 1 drink at a meal. I make sure I've eaten.
Right.
And with friends, not generally like in the convention.
Yeah.
So at running my own.
Yeah,
I have learned. Mm-hmm. I had that part of a cider and was like, nope.
That's a hard thing too, eating at conventions. Like when I have anxiety, it totally kills my appetite.
Yep.
So if you're not eating and you're trying to burn all this energy, you're just going to crash.
You're just burning everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I get anxious if I'm in the town that I'm not familiar with and I don't know like the food around me. I'll start freaking out thinking, what if I get food poisoning? I don't know where the hospital is. I don't have a car. How do I get a hold of an Uber? And it's like, it just like spirals out of control. So I try to at least eat at like chain restaurants that I'm familiar with and I at least know what I'm going to get. Like I'll have Panera soup and something light just to hold me over. But like, it's hard to do any of that stuff just to like chill out and let your body be a normal body.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
eating matters, sleep matters, hydrating.
Yes.
And yes, and Nicole brought it up again, hydrating if you are drinking is so important. I always drink water, so hydrating is like the one thing I easily do.
Yeah.
That's about it. I need somebody to remind me to eat on a normal basis when I'm not at a convention. I have literally alerts on my phone that go off because I will not have eaten. So, and at a convention, I really don't. Yeah. I don't know. I have an alert that goes off at noon and then again at 1. It's like, hey, have you eaten anything today? No? You should probably do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine says eat food. And then at 1 o'clock, it says actually eat food, asshole.
That's awesome.
Because, and I set the times to go with work because if I don't, like if I'm not in the mindset to stop and eat between classes, if I'm teaching, I will not eat. And my lunch is either one of those times. So
yeah.
And I almost never eat breakfast so that I don't eat. If I get home from school and I haven't eaten during the day, I won't eat until dinner because it's too close to dinner. So I literally will have gone all day and not eaten until like 6 p.m.
Wow.
Which is not good.
No.
So at conventions, I will literally go sometimes an entire day without eating a single anything. Unless somebody's like, have you eaten? And I'm like, no.
Let me think. No.
I had salad last night at 6.
Does that?
Yeah. It was only 20 hours ago. I think I'm good. Yeah. So, those things. I think that having friends also that will ask me those things helps significantly for me. Yeah. I need people to check in on me. Just stay human sometimes. Yeah. Keep me accountable for
stop being a robot.
Just normal human function levels of anything. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Does anybody else in the chat have anything they would like us to cover? Any questions to ask? As it is 11 o'clock. This has gone so quickly, ladies. Thank you.
Yeah, it has.
So fast.
So much to say.
Oh, yeah. People bring donuts and pretzels and see. I always bring food to a convention. But that is also part of, I would not put food in my backpack so that I have an excuse to go back to my room.
There you go.
But I still don't usually eat when I do that. I will bring down the food, but I don't typically consume it.
It's hard. You get in the moment and you just don't think about it.
It is. It's tough. So I will go I always bring things like clementines. I will go up and get clementines and then bring them downstairs and hand them to everybody else. But I haven't actually consumed one. Oh, man. So, it's a thing. We're working on it. It's all good, right?
Yes.
Progress. Yes. Be kind to yourselves. Be good to yourselves. I think allowing yourselves to do the things you need to do is huge. Like allowing yourself, if you need space, take the space. Yeah. These are things that are really tough. It's tough to allow yourself peace, I think.
It is.
Oh boy. Yeah. It is necessary.
Yeah, you have to. Even though you don't want to, you have to.
Right?
Yeah.
There's still going to be that, and I don't really have the FOMO, the fear of missing out thing. Like, I'm good watching other people play games. I don't have to play everything. I don't need to be at every event. My brain just doesn't trigger like that because I know that those things generally give me a little bit of anxiety anyhow. So at least I have that aspect of it. But I do have I'll miss my friends.
Yeah.
That part is the only part that keeps me up late and doing stupid things, making poor life choices. It's like nobody else is hungry right now, so I just won't eat, even though I haven't eaten anything today, and nobody else is going to be hungry for another 4 hours. I don't want to be away from my friend. Like, I'd rather go with them than I would by myself.
Yeah. So
I need to try to remember that that's not necessarily best.
Because you can always go get food and then bring it back and sit with them.
Unless you're at BGG.
Well, the takeaway stuff.
There's very little of anything that delivers to that hotel, too.
Yeah.
We had very sweet friends who got us Torchies twice last time. It was literally life-saving because there's one salad I can eat at BGG, like at the hotel. So I eat one salad a day.
Oh my gosh.
One mediocre salad a day.
Ugh.
And Matt was really good at being like, hey, I don't think you've eaten food. Let's go eat food. But I need somebody to do that for me, unfortunately. But our friends, Richard and Emily, got us Torchies twice, and it was like, I love you. We just met, and you are my favorite people that have existed on the planet ever. And I love you so much. Yeah. These amazing tacos. I will have these chips for 3 days. Like, it was so good. Torchies was wonderful and amazing. And I highly suggest getting it if you go to BGG Con, if possible.
All right. Noted.
It's uber worthy.
Ooh.
Also, I can't really eat at BGG Con, so this could be completely built up from like starvation and sleep deprivation.
It's the best thing ever. Not really.
Yeah. I mean, people also barbecue was good too, but it was insane and smoky. We went to Heart 8 and the smoke triggered my asthma and I didn't have my inhaler. So I had to go inside while everybody else was in line.
Oh, man.
Have them get me food because I was like,
oh, man.
oh no, I don't have an inhaler. We were going to dinner. Like, I do have it at the hotel.
Oh, man.
But I'm going to die before we get inside. So I'm going to go inside, please. And somebody get me some sort of not frightening meat.
Right.
And I'll take a vegetable. And I'm good. Yeah. Oh no, people are retracting things. Yeah, it's not good for celiac situations. BGG Con, still enjoyable. I'm not going to make you guys do the rapid fire because I feel like anxiety and rapid fire are not a good combination. It's really terrible for me when I did it as a guest before it was on Cubist.
Aw.
So I won't force you to do it this time. It's literally, Cassie, in case you don't know, it's just me yelling random questions at you and you have seconds to answer.
Oh my.
It's stressful and it's stressful funny for a lot of people, but it probably isn't for everyone.
No.
Yeah. That's funny.
I had a really difficult time with it. I know, Ben, I'm sorry. I had a difficult time with it when I was a guest. I just panicked and yelled things and also wanted to die though. So I was very like, once we got done. I enjoy doing it to other people who I know can handle it, but I only ever do it to people I know like that's a thing that they will enjoy. I don't force people to do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And don't forget, guys, we have Cubist After Dark in a minute. We are going to go dark for a few minutes so I can refill my water bottle and not die. It's like 80 degrees in my house and I can't have the air conditioner on because it's too loud.
Yes.
So I am sweaty and I am thirsty. And I don't know if either Cassie or Amanda are going to join us for After Dark, but they know they're invited.
I am not because I'm getting hangry.
Okay. That's okay.
Yes, no worries.
I still love you just the same. But I hope some of you in the audience will. Now, Amanda, would you like to tell the audience a little bit about yourself before we go? Anything you want to? Your shameless plug situation, where to follow you online?
Shameless plug would be heavycardboard.com is my podcast and YouTube channel that I do with my husband, Edward. And I will be at Dice Tower Con this weekend. So if you see me, come say hello. And you can find me on Twitter at AmandaU.
And Cassie?
Shameless plugging. IndieGameReport.com. And then I'm also going to be at Dice Tower, so you can also say hi to me. Let me know ahead of time that you're coming. So I'm not like, who are you? And also, my Twitter is at Friedman Cassie. That's it.
That's it. All right. And I am Kimberly Revia, as you know. And we are proud members of Punchboard Media, where we all bring something to the table. I almost forgot. I didn't, though. See?
Good job.
So
good job.
You can follow me on the internet, but actually I'm going to go social media dark for a while. So it's really pretty much pointless at the moment. I love you. I'm also probably going to take a small hiatus from Cubist for a while. Sorry, guys. Love you. Have a good evening. Thank you so much, Cassie and Amanda, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.